Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and today's episode of the Fit 15 is episode 97. And that means that we only have, after today's episode anyways, 3 more episodes, 98, 99, and 100, before the Fit 15 will go on a little break in between this season, Season 1, our first 100 episodes, and Season 2. So what that means is that if you've been enjoying the show, you want to make sure that you subscribe to the podcast so you don't forget to tune back in again when we go live with a new episode in August. That's really important. That's number 1 to do for today. Number 2 thing you might want to do today is to head on over to the show notes page and check out other guests we've had, and then shoot me an email, podcast@fitarmadillo.com, to let me know about guests and topics that you would like to have me cover that have not been covered yet or not covered in the detail you would like. And during July, I will do my best to get those episodes recorded so you will have something to look forward to in August. So even though I'm taking time off from releasing new episodes for you, I will still be recording in July. So I'm really excited to round up some new guests for you and get those episodes prepared. But as I mentioned in episode 000, which you're welcome to go head back to if you've missed that, I want the show to be more your show than mine. So I always want to make sure we're bringing on guests who you want to hear from. All right. So hope you'll go do that. Subscribe, give me your feedback, and if you've been loving the show, don't forget to leave us a review in iTunes and or Stitcher. That really helps other people find the show and makes my day, so it's greatly appreciated. Would love to have you do that if you've been enjoying the episodes. All right, so like I said, today's episode is episode 97. If you tuned in last week, you know that it's a continuation of a conversation I had with Lisa Patten, who is one of the trainers at Fit Armadillo, my fitness company. So we started out our episode, or our conversation, I should say, last week, where you got to meet Lisa. So you got to learn more about Lisa. In case you hadn't read any of her blog posts or checked her out over on fitarmadillo.com. And then today we are continuing our conversation and focusing more on her most recent experience of completing her first triathlon. All right, Lisa, so you have a great accomplishment that you just completed, which is completing your first triathlon. And I wonder if you could share about that experience and maybe even help those of us who might be considering a triathlon, but maybe are like me and enjoy one of the 3 forms of cardio included in a triathlon a lot, but aren't really huge fans of the other 2.
Sure. Well, being my first one, there was like 6 months of anxiety that got to lead up to, right? Because it's like I feel like the first half of my prep was like, it's kind of too early to be prepping. It's kind of too early to be prepping. And then the very next day I woke up and it was like, well, it's too late now. Like,
Right.
like there's nothing you can do. Like, it's like tomorrow. So I actually despise running. Like, if there's not a bear chasing me, I don't want to be doing it. And even then, like, it better be a fast bear, because like I have, like I said, I want to run, but I can run every day for a month and only have one of those runs be one of those where you're like, I'm amazing, I can run forever.
Right.
And then I spend the next 3 weeks chasing that. Like, see, no, you can run. You love it. Let's see how amazing you felt. And then I grind through it. And then at somewhere like 2 weeks later, I'm like, I will never feel that feeling again. Like, it was just that one time. So I dreaded the run more than anything, because it's last. Because you swim and then you bike and then you run. And all I can think is like, I know how to swim. I know how to bike. I know how to run. but I don't want to do it in that order.
Right.
Like,
No, I agree.
so
I like running.
going, right. Like, so going into it, because if the run was first, then I would feel like the whole thing, I'd be like, well, that's over. You can do this.
Right.
But instead it was like, oh, look how tired you already are. And you haven't even done that run yet. Because it was a half-mile swim, a 12-mile bike, and then a 5K, which like I've run like maybe, a dozen 5Ks every summer.
Mhm.
Like everyone that pops up, like, oh, I'll run a 5K. But like, can you run a 5K after swimming around a lake and then biking? You don't even know where. I didn't even know where I was when I was biking. Like,
Yep.
so I dreaded it, and what I come to realize was, being a spin instructor, the bike was like a break for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I've always been a strong swimmer. I've been swimming since I was 3 years old. Like, I have pictures of me, like I was on water skis at 3 years old. Like, I grew up in the water. I'll share it with you. It's a true story.
Yeah.
And so like, the swim never bothered me. And to be honest, I didn't prepare that much for it, because I was more concerned with longer distances. Because it's like, oh, it's 750 meters, which is something like 11 laps in the pool. So the very first time I went and I swam 11 laps, and I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, that'll be fine. But it is an open water swim. So the part that was making me nervous was like, okay, you can swim 750 meters, but can you do it while 1,000 people kick you in the face?
Right.
Because it's this big crowd. And then I realized, being the anxious person that I am, like, I can't control them. Right? Like, no amount of swimming laps in the pool is going to stop them from crowding me or being in my space.
Right.
So I tried not to stress that, because at that point I was still excited. And then the bike was, I zipped past half the crowd on the bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt good. And that was the first time ever. Like, I've done a 6-hour endurance ultra, all the 5Ks that I've done, all the mud runs, the Spartan, all of it. The first time I felt like I was in a race.
Okay. Yep.
Because I felt like I was racing these people, and that I might actually beat them. Well, some of them.
Yep.
Enough of them.
Yep. Hi friends, it's Catherine, and that sound, in case you're new, is your halfway point reminder if you are using the podcast to help you get in an out and back 15-minute walk. You want to turn around now. All right, back to Lisa.
And so then I got to the run, and all of those people ran right past me. And so many of them were like, you were going so fast on the bike. And I was like, thanks, Cheryl. Like, like, they ran right past me, and the run was out and back. So on my way running out, everyone who was ahead of me was like, you would pass them on the road as they ran back, because you literally ran out to the cone, turned around, and came back. So one by one, everyone that I had gone there with is running past me. But I'll be honest, being like the chubby powerlifter that I am, I did not care. Like, I described it as like, it was harder than I would like it to be, but I was in really good spirits the whole time. Because I was like, here, I'm out here, like, I'm doing this. Like, at that point in time, I knew I would finish. I figure if there was a time for me to like sneak to my car and leave, it would be at a transition, right? Like, like, if they came back and just like my bag was gone, then like, I gave up. But at that point in time, it was like, it's faster just to get there and get it done. And as soon as I realized like I would finish, my split, I had a total negative split on that run, because I like limped out and then ran back. And I think I finished like 10th from last, but I really don't care at all.
I mean, you still did it. That's more than I
right.
can say.
Right. Like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, look at that. Like, there's my name on the finishing thing. Like, here's my medal. I could not care less. And I do plan to do another one at the end of the summer. So I'm excited to see where the improvements are, because it was something that I really thought was possibly beyond my reach. Like, it was something that like I really like. When I ran the Spartan, I was like, halfway through that, I was like, this is silly, why are we doing this? Whereas the triathlon, I was like, oh, like, I kind of really enjoy doing this, because by the time I hated swimming, it was over. And I got to do something else. And then by the time I was like, how long have I been on this bike? It was like, oh, there's only 2 miles left. And then I got to do something else. And then by the time I was running, I was just super excited to still be alive. So
No, I love that. So there's definitely another one. The one that you signed up for at the end is still going to happen after the first. So that's good.
yeah, absolutely. And if you have the link in your inbox because I've been trying to get you to come
I
do
know.
it with me. If you remember.
My excuse for the other one was that it was too close to my race. So I was like, I think I need to recover. But now I don't know.
Well, this one's September 1st. There's plenty of room for you.
See, I have to go dig that up and see if I can work on my own mental game, right?
Yeah, there you go. And I think my plan is I will do one in mid-August, and that will be the exact same distance as the one I just did. And then September 1st is actually an Olympic distance. So they are taking teams, and so my husband and I are going to be a team.
Oh, that's
because
fun.
if I couldn't find someone, I vowed never to run again if I don't have to. So if I can't find someone to do the run portion, he said he was going to do it because the run is about 6 miles.
Okay.
And the swim is like a full mile and the bike is 26. So I think that's too much to truly take on, but I was considering the aqua bike, which is just the swim and then the bike. Yep. And so if he's going to run, then together we'll do the full Olympic triathlon.
That's cool. Got the team going.
We'll see. We'll see, because he can wake up tomorrow and run faster than me, but he's not. He just doesn't have the schedule. Like he'll run this week because he played soccer, and then maybe not again for 2 weeks.
Right. No, he gets a little practice from the other things he does.
Right. Yep.
So any quick tips for people that are considering running, or not running, completing their first triathlon, doing swimming, running, and biking, but not in that order, unfortunately.
No. I think if you're going to do your first triathlon, there's a lot of resources online where you can find like a 20-week plan or a 12-week plan. But like all things, you want to work on that endurance base, right? So a lot of people go now and they try to just do some high intensity exercise. And while that is beneficial for heart health and other things, it is not going to give you that that basic endurance base that you need to like be a baseline and start to improve. And definitely, your very first time out, like, don't worry about your time, because the things that will take time are your transitions, right? And there are so many tips and tricks out there, but none of us anticipated that the run from the lakeside to the actual bike transition was actually 200 meters uphill on dirt and gravel.
Oh no.
So, like, do you wear your flip-flops because you can't run up that in your cycling shoes? Right. Do you take the time and change into sneakers, run up there, and then change your shoes again? It's stuff like that you can't anticipate, but I think once you do it, then you realize, like, what is important to you and what isn't. Like, if you're someone who has to, like, I didn't have to wear socks in my cycling shoes, but I would have to wear socks in my running shoes. So, like, that's one of those things, like, so when do you put them on? When do you want to take that time? Right. And I think you can really only figure that out by doing it at least once.
Got it. Yeah, definitely.
And not only that, but how are you going to fuel yourself? I'm sure, like, as a marathon runner, right? Like, you can't just order some electrolytes and goo and then pack it in your bra the day of a marathon and hope it works. Like, right? Like, you just, like, that, it'll make you nauseous. It won't work. Like, suddenly you have to go to the bathroom. Like, you have to practice with all of your gear. So I even took my cycling pedals off my bike and put regular pedals on, because I didn't feel I got to practice with them and the day before as much as I wanted to. Yep. And the day before, my cleat on my cycling shoes was a little loose. Okay. And all I can think is, if I try to ride the 12 miles and this pops off or comes loose again, I'll be far worse off than if I just cycle in sneakers.
Right. Yeah,
And
definitely don't change things a day of, right? For any event at all, probably
right,
endurance and other.
right, all of them.
Yep.
That's good advice across the board.
And I'm just gonna say from experience, you may not want to put the goo in your broth. Done that before and it didn't go so good. An alternate.
See? And that's an outstanding tip.
Oh
Yeah.
man. There is someone that's invented. I'm like, they stole my invention, Lisa. I'm so upset. But it's a sports bra that has a pocket. And I was like, man, if I only had that back in the day.
Oh, see, and you probably wear shorts because you're in California, but I
Yep.
always wear leggings, and leggings with a pocket have become like my
Oh yeah.
lifesaver.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're expensive. They're not cheap.
Right. No, I know. And finding the right ones and testing that as well, like testing your
Right, because
outfit.
they have to be squat proof if they're for me. Because like
Right.
no one wants to see that. Yeah, but I think like the best advice I would have is, at least take at least 2 days, preferably 3, and make them like a nice steady state where you can work on speed work or resistance or something. But I tell my spin clients all the time, like barbarians use brute force, right? But
Right.
we are athletes. Like there needs to be a plan and control. Like you can't just decide, or you shouldn't. I guess you can. You can do whatever you want. It's a free
Yep.
country. But you shouldn't just decide like, well, I want to do a triathlon, so like I'll run a little bit until I get tired and I'll swim. Like put a plan in place and stick to it. And that more than anything will help you feel prepared.
Yeah. No, I mean, you might second guess yourself in the last week, but
Right. If you don't actually, you're crazy.
Right.
Right. If at some point you're not going, why did I do this? Like, not only that, we were in the water and I chose not to get a wetsuit.
Okay.
But because it was like, oh, it'll be June, like the typical water temperatures are warm enough,
Yep.
and they were like 10 degrees below average. So
Oh,
as I'm getting in the water, what I decided to do then is I got in the water 10 minutes before start time and got nice and cold, and then got out and was wet at the start line. So when I got in again, it felt warmer
yep. Oh
because I was
man.
cold outside. But as I was waiting in the water, like walking out there and freezing, and I have my goggles and they're fogging, and they make you wear their swim cap. But
Okay.
I like mine, so I wore theirs over mine because theirs
Yep.
was really thin. And so like my brain is being suctioned into my eye sockets, and I'm walking out there and I just kept repeating, I was like, I paid to be here. I gave someone else money to be here. Like
That was your
I could,
mantra.
right. Like I was like, you paid to be here. And I said the same thing when we were running the Spartan race. We did it as a team, like me and a bunch of girls. And as we're like hiking up this hill, that's a whole other podcast, the Spartan race, because I
Right.
could go on and on. But like they were like, how long is it taking us? It's feeling forever. I was like, the way I see it, the longer you spend on this course, the more bang for your buck.
I like that.
Right? Because if you just go out there and you zip through it and you finish, like you paid the same amount as the people who are out here for 5 hours. So if you want to sit and have a sandwich, I say do it.
Yep. Taking the scenery at the top of the hill.
Right. Take a break, have a seat. They're not going anywhere.
Oh man. Well, I love it. Lisa, and I know we've been chatting. I know I need to let you go, but people should definitely check out, and I haven't done this myself recently, but they should check out your website for like, I love your perspective on fitness and all that good stuff. So do you want to just mention briefly where they should go to find you?
Oh, absolutely. My website is barbellsandbabes.net, all spelt correctly with no weird things in it. And you can find me on Instagram is where I post most of my stuff, and that's barbells and babe, no S because apparently it's too long.
Oh, okay. See?
And the same, and that is see, yeah, who knew? And then the same thing for Facebook, but it all crosses over between the two. But that's where you can find all my pictures of my PRs and all my pictures of Tupperware when I complain about washing it for meal prep. But most importantly, pictures of Mason when he comes to the gym with me and
Yes,
does cute
he's so
stuff.
cute. Jealous of his hair.
Me too.
Awesome. And yeah, and obviously we'll have, people want to maybe train with you. We'll have to hook them up. So
Yeah, absolutely. If especially, anyone who wants to properly learn how to use weights and change your body that way. I don't like running, so it's my only option.
See? Well, thanks so much, Lisa. It's really been fun catching up. We should have had some pita bread while we were doing this. That's my only regret.
Oh, we should have. I found a recipe that I meant to tag you.
Okay.
But then I then still decided, like, because I actually then made a real loaf of bread, and I decided at the end of the day, just buy it.
Okay.
It's like,
I know.
like a parent, like, choose your battles. I think pita bread should not be a battle that we choose.
I
Because
think I think I told you one time I got desperate and I did a recipe and because nothing was open and it kind of served the purpose, I guess, but I'm right there with you. I mean, I was maybe it's a great recipe, but yeah.
right. You know what we should try is that cloud bread. Have you
I've
seen
heard of
that?
it, but I don't know if I've seen a picture even of it. I need to look
Oh,
at
it looks so beautiful and fluffy, and I think it's essentially like egg whites and
Huh.
something.
Okay.
It's like egg whites, but it's supposedly carb free. Not that I care,
Right.
but some people might. Right. Like, some people might, but mostly it looked like it was something it looked like something you could whip up at home in like 6 minutes. I'll have to find it and share it.
We'll have to have a challenge and see if either of us can actually do it.
Yeah, or maybe someone out there knows how to make cloud bread and can tell us how to do it, because
Yes, please write
it's
in.
not our forte. Find us on Instagram and tell us how to make cloud bread.
Oh, well, thanks so much, Lisa.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice catching up with you.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely do it again sometime.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.
Hi, friends, it's Catherine, and I hope you enjoyed these tips for completing your first triathlon from new triathlete Lisa Patten. Lisa, thank you so much for sharing your tips, and congratulations again on completing your first triathlon. You're definitely my hero. And a few other last-minute housekeeping reminders. I mentioned earlier that you want to subscribe to the show. Don't forget to do that, because after episode 100, we will take a break for the month of July and come back in August with new episodes. So if you subscribe, that will make sure that you don't forget to tune back in when we start releasing episodes again. If you want to share insights on guests and topics you would like to have featured on the show, you can shoot me an email with your requests. My email for the podcast is podcast@fitarmadillo.com. As always, if you are enjoying the podcast, please head on over to iTunes and/or Stitcher to leave a review. And if you're looking for help working on your fitness goals, you can go to fitarmadillo.com and specifically fitarmadillo.com/Lisa to work one-on-one with Lisa as your trainer. Our sessions are provided over live 2-way video chat, so you can enjoy them from anywhere your busy life takes you, as long as you have a strong Wi-Fi connection. You can think of our sessions as being done over a Skype or FaceTime type format, but you don't need to have either of those apps to enjoy a session. Also wanted to let you know that during the month of July, I won't be releasing new episodes of the podcast, but we are offering online small group fitness classes. So if you go to fitarmadillo.com/classes, you can check those out. And you know what? Fit Armadillo is our sponsor. They should be giving you a coupon code, right? So if you haven't tried a class before, or even if you have, let's make it for everyone, and you are a podcast listener, go to fitarmadillo.com/classes and use code THEFIT15, and we'll spell that as THEFIT15, all one word, and enjoy 50% off your first class for being such an awesome listener of the podcast. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and if you subscribe to the show, I will chat with you tomorrow. Bye.